Hello guys, OMGGM here, and today we're gonna be taking a look on the list that I have prepared for the top 5 games that you feel like you're playing in a movie. Now, before I start this list, this is my personal opinion, and those games that I am mentioning are not straight out of films. Like I don't mention the Mad Max game and all that, and you get what I mean. And starting off our list is Forza Horizon 3. Forza Horizon 3, it's a racing game, a realistic racing game, in which you drive a lot of cars and you have to go through traffic and all that. And for the Horizon 3, you feel like you're playing on on a Fast and Furious film, or in a film which you race. And Forza Horizon 3 is also a very good game, maybe one of the best racing games out for the time being. And yes, I also put it on number 5 because there aren't any movies, I think at least, which you only race, but there are movies which they race as well, but only that. And that's on number 5. And now moving on number 4. Now it's GTA 5. GTA 5, you can take whatever game of the series you want. I chose GTA 5 because for the time being it's the most recent one, and I put it on number 4 because the game isn't always like you're playing on a movie, but sometimes it is. And when I say a movie, I mean the movie like the guy that kills enemies and all that, or he stealing banks. And GTA 5, you all have played it, you're a criminal, you can do whatever you want. And I'm sure that most of you like it, some of you might not. Yes, there are also more things in the game that I'm not gonna say because I may get some warnings, but you can do whatever you want. And when I mean whatever, I mean nearly everything. And you can do even stuff that have to do with women. I'm not gonna go much deeper than that, and I'm gonna move on. And moving on, now on number 3, we have Battlefield 1942. Now I chose Battlefield 1942 because it's the first in the series and you are put on a World War II time, and I think that is the most realistic because there are a lot of World War II films out there, and there aren't a lot, maybe there aren't at all films they're like a bunch of people fighting in recent times. And you can even choose Battlefield 1 because it's put on that time, but I chose the first on the series. Battlefield 1 is nearly the same with a little bit better graphics and all that. You have played it for sure. And in number 3 on our list, because it doesn't have that much it does have some scenes, but not as much as the last two. And because the game is mostly multiplayer, it's a little bit hard to make it like a movie, but it happens a lot in a lot of times. And yes, that's Battlefield 1942 or Battlefield 1 in the number 3 spot. And now moving on the number 4, game that if you are old enough you have probably played it. It's Tomb Raider. Now you can choose whatever Tomb Raider you want. I have chosen the you get the idea, whatever Tomb Raider you want, and this takes you into a movie like you're on adventures and all that, and giant balls of stone are chasing you, and you're solving mysteries. You get the idea of why it's like a film. There's guns in the game. There's a good amount of scenes. You can do some pretty cool stuff as well. And the game is like a film, and you have Lara Croft, and she does some pretty cool parkour. And parkour there is parkour in some films, in some there isn't. And yes, at the top 4 on our list. And now for the number 1, I don't know if I should have chosen Tomb Raider or this game, but I have chosen Uncharted 4. Now it's the same nearly for every game. You can choose more than like the games from the other series, because all of them have, but I don't know, think that all of them have as much scenes as Uncharted 4, and you're feeling all the time that you're playing all the movie, because everything is planned to happen in the single player, I mean, not like for example in GTA 5 or Forza Horizon or in Battlefield 1942, because as I mentioned, in multiplayer games it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit harder to feel like in a movie as easily as in single player games, and Uncharted 4 does the job very well. As I mentioned, there are a lot of scenes, and the game is very good as well. You have probably played it, and I'm not gonna get very deep into it because there might be some spoilers. There's parkour, there's scenes with big guns. You get the idea. With dungeons, not exactly dungeons, like churches or very tall buildings, and you feel like you're in a movie. Now also Battlefield 1942, it's a little bit, you can put on there like other games like Medal of Honor or the first Call of Duties. And yes, okay guys, so that was the video. OMGGM here for with the top 5 again, and bye.